You can budget perfectly. You can save diligently. You can make all the right financial decisions. And one medical event can still derail everything. I'm Kimberly, a financial coach with almost 30 years' experience. And today, I want to talk about something that most financial advice conveniently ignores: the role of health coverage in your ability to achieve financial security. Because this isn't a personal finance problem, this is a systemic problem that shows up in your personal finances. So let's talk about it. If you ever read personal finance advice, you've heard the 3 ways to improve cash flow. Say it with me now. 1, increase your income. 2, decrease your expenses. 3, do a little bit of both. And for some people, this works. They increase income, cut unnecessary spending, start to build an emergency fund. But then they get sick or injured or diagnosed with a chronic condition. And suddenly we're asking 3 very different questions. 1, do you have access to health care? 2, do you have health insurance? 3, do you have enough health insurance to cover this medical event? Too often, the answer to at least one of these is no. And when that happens, all the budgeting in the world won't protect you from financial catastrophe. Let me tell you a story about when I was 24 years old. That summer, I went for 3 months without health insurance. I had just left a job with employer coverage, was waitressing to pay the bills, and would start grad school in the fall where I would get student health coverage. My mom was worried. And listen, this lady loves to worry. She kept asking me, "What if you get hit by a car?" And I'd say, "I won't. And anyway, I don't make enough money right now to pay my rent and a health insurance premium." I figured I'd do without until I got affordable coverage at the university. Luckily, I didn't get hit by a car that summer. But this memory comes back to me whenever someone says mandated health coverage is bad because it impedes personal freedom. What that subtext often is, mandated health coverage is bad because it's too expensive for someone waiting tables to pay the rent. When people don't have health insurance, it's usually not because they don't want it, it's because they can't afford it. And that's a problem we need to talk about. Let's look at what happens when people don't have adequate coverage. The numbers tell a devastating story. Nearly 1/3 of adults are paying off medical bills over time. Medical debt and collections averages about $2,200 per person. And here's the big one. Medical debt is the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. Even after the Affordable Care Act, an estimated 500,000 households each year file for medical bill-related bankruptcy. Let me say that again. Even people with health insurance are going bankrupt from medical bills. So, how are you supposed to save for a house? Put money aside for your kids' education? Build retirement savings when you're drowning in medical debt or avoiding unnecessary care because you can't afford it? The answer is you can't. And that's why so many people feel stuck financially. Not because they're bad with money, but because the system is stacked against them. Think about what medical debt does to your financial life. It destroys your credit. Medical debt and collections tanks your credit score. It's harder to get approved for a mortgage, a car loan, even an apartment. Higher interest rates on everything. It drains your cash flow. Monthly payments on medical bills means less money for savings, debt payoff, or investing in your future. It delays your goals. That down payment you've been saving for, gone to pay a hospital bill. The career change you've been wanting to make, can't risk losing the employer-sponsored insurance. It creates constant stress. You're always one medical event away from financial disaster. This is the hidden cost of our healthcare system, and it's enormous. During economic downturns, government shutdowns, global health crises, it gets even worse. People lose their jobs and their insurance. They delay medical care, which leads to worse health outcomes and higher costs later. Healthcare is supposed to be a safety net. Instead, for too many people, it's a trapdoor. So while we wait for systemic change, which may or may not come, here's what you can control now. 1, understand your coverage. Really understand it. Know your deductible, out-of-pocket maximum, what's covered, what's not. 2, build a bigger emergency fund if you can. Healthcare emergencies are one of the top reasons people drain savings. 3, advocate for yourself. Question bills that seem wrong. Request itemized statements. Appeal denials. It's exhausting, but it matters. 4, don't blame yourself. If you're struggling financially because of healthcare costs, that's not a personal failing. The system is broken. 5, get support. You don't have to navigate this alone. This is why I do this work. Traditional financial advice doesn't acknowledge this reality. It doesn't acknowledge that healthcare costs can derail even the best of plans. It doesn't acknowledge that sometimes you're doing everything right and still struggling. My approach is different. I help clients focus on what they can control while releasing shame about what they can't. If you're navigating a major life change, career shift, divorce, new parenthood, caring for aging parents, health challenges, and healthcare costs are making you feel stuck financially, you're not alone. I offer individual and small group coaching programs for people who want support that acknowledges this reality. For people who are ready to take action on what they can control while releasing shame about what they can't. If that sounds like you, link in the description to book a free 15-minute clarity call. Let's talk about whether working together makes sense. Because you deserve to pursue your financial goals without fear that one medical event will destroy everything you've built. You don't have to do this alone. Let's work on what we can control together. If this resonates, hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And drop a comment. Has healthcare costs affected your financial goals? I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.